Heathen Thought of the Day.
Welcome back, everyone, and today you'll be graced with whatever thought comes out of Johnny's mind.
Thought in my mind, it comes to my head a lot, is how the movie RoboCop, the one and only movie RoboCop, the greatest film of all time, how every single facet of that movie is executed to perfection. Every single part of it. And that is something that I'm taking into Heathen, is that you can't just, we'll skimp on that, we'll skimp on this. There can't be any excuses. Every single part has to be perfect for what it is. And it's one of the only movies that I'm aware of where, every single aspect of the movie is perfection for what's needed.
It's one of those films where the concept, like the storyline, the title and stuff, to me, give me a completely different image of what I'm going to be watching. And it took me a couple of watches before I started appreciating that every single time I do watch it, there's a whole nother detail and layer, and, it's so smart.
The thing is, you're finding that because I've been watching RoboCop since I was 4, and I still watch it to this day. And every time I watch it, there is something new still that I'm noticing about, how have they done this, or that was excellent. And this is even after watching the Robo-Doc, is now a 4-hour documentary they made on the making of RoboCop. And you would have thought they would have covered everything, but there's still bits in that documentary they haven't covered the entirety of the amazingness that is RoboCop. Paul Verhoeven, my favourite director of all time as well. Also started off my bloodlust, RoboCop, my need for violent cinema. So even though it's not a horror movie, it still ties in a sense that it's ultra violent, and I love ultra violence in my horror and in my movies in general.
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm. In fact, I barely watch a movie without some ultra violence.
Oh, one of your favourite comedies, I suppose, has a full-grown adult just shoving a kid out the way, so that's close enough. My thought today is about knowledge, or the lack thereof.
Knowledge is power.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Oh, is that your thought?
Well, it's half of my thought. So apparently, knowledge is power, but also ignorance is bliss.
Yes.
And now, I don't disagree with either of these, and I'm also not saying that they don't go together, because power and bliss are not the same thing, obviously. And I think, again, it can be tied into Heathen, because ignorance of all the stuff going on around you, all the atrocities that go on in the world, both just regular day-to-day that we get now, and the slightly more supernatural ones. It's nice not to know about that. So that's the blissful part. But of course, without knowledge of how to execute things, you would, or knowledge that this is happening, you wouldn't be able to make such a horrific movie, would you?
Yeah, that's very true.
I have a question for you, though. Would you rather be powerful or blissful?
No, that's a thinker. The more that I'm on this earth, I know what they mean by ignorance is bliss. It gets more true every day that passes with what goes on.
Especially the things you can't do anything about.
And I think, what can I say? I'm going to sit on the fence. I want both. Power and bliss. Yeah. I would need more time to think about picking one or the other.
I mean, for me, it's already ruined. I've got too much knowledge to be blissful from ignorance. But
you can stop. That's the thing. You can read about, if you want, just take an example, like current events, right? And like you said, the atrocities going on in the world. And you can know about it, but you can also at the same time just stop reading about it. And still then ruined. In a way, you're still aware of it. But once you stop, the bliss does come. So you can still be not completely ignorant.
Between power and bliss, it's a no-brainer for me. Bliss all the time, because, in my humble opinion, I believe that the only real meaning of life is to try and find happiness, which
yeah.
Is. So if you can have that, great.
And I'm thinking of kind of different power. That I'm not talking about ruling over people and stuff like those kind of powers, which a lot of people seem to really get off on. But yeah, Good. That was much better than I Like to Eat, which you gave us last time. So yeah, keep those coming. And if you haven't seen it, watch RoboCop.